Hi, hi everyone. My name is Ela. Welcome to International Dessert Week. We're going to be starting the week off by making churros. Churros are basically fried doughs that are said to be originated from Spain. It's said that in Spain the shepherds started making it because they didn't have access to a lot of cooking equipment. So this was a very easy way to get the feel of baked goods without actually having to bake anything. They were easy to make, they were fresh, and they could be made by everybody. So that's what we're going to be doing today. My name is Ela. I was a student at the Academy of Pastry Arts. I completed my 9 months advanced diploma at the academy, and after I was done with the course, I interned at the academy itself for another 6 months. So that's about me. And you all, if during the whole live session you all have any questions, you all can keep dropping them in. I can read your questions and then I'll get back to you. I'll try my best to answer all of your questions, but if there's anything that I'm not able to answer, I will make sure to get back to you and let you know after the live session is over. We will be saving the live session after it's over. So if in case you have missed a part of it, or you're not able to watch the whole thing, you can always come back and watch it later. Okay, so we're gonna start. I am just gonna show you the ingredients once. So for the choux dough, we have flour, we have eggs, we have sugar and salt and butter, and we've taken water directly in the saucepan. This is what we have for the choux paste. The chocolate and the cream are for the chocolate sauce that we'll make later, and also we are gonna just cover the churros after they are fried in some sugar and cinnamon. Okay, so let's begin. So as I said, we already have the water in the saucepan. We're just gonna turn on the heat on a very low flame. We're gonna add the sugar and the salt. The sugar and the salt here are just for flavor. They don't really play any such role. Any substitute for eggs. For this recipe, unfortunately, we don't have any substitute for eggs. You will have to look for a recipe which does not have any eggs at all, and that will have to be a separate recipe altogether. In this recipe, the eggs play the role of giving structure to the dough, so we can't really replace the eggs in this recipe. So sorry. So what we're doing here is just we are gonna wait for the sugar to dissolve. That's the only thing we want. We are not trying to bring it to a boil or a simmer as such. We just want the heat to dissolve the sugar and melt the butter. Okay, so I can see that my sugar has dissolved. So I'm just gonna turn off the flame and I'm going to start adding the flour. I'll take it off the heat and I'll start adding the flour little by little. So what we are ultimately trying to do is cook the flour, but first we'll just mix it together. Make sure there are no lumps in the paste, and then we'll put it back on the flame. Okay. I'll get back to your questions once we are done with this paste, once it's cooked. Okay, so I'm putting it back on the flame. We want it to be medium or low, not high, because the flour starts cooking immediately and we don't want it to not cook from one side and cook too much from the other. So make sure to keep moving it around. It is going to stick a little to the bottom of the pan. That's completely okay. That you can't really avoid. So you'll know it's done when it starts leaving the pan. It'll sort of look like the consistency of a boiled or a mashed potato, and it'll start leaving the pan. That's because the starch in the flour will absorb the liquid completely and it'll start separating. That's when we know it's cooked. So that's what we are going for here. We don't want to cook it too much after that. Okay, you can see a little has already started to leave the pan, but some of it is still not cooked. So we'll just make sure all of it is cooked properly, and then we'll be done. So yeah, if you can see, it's done. All of it is leaving the pan, and it's sort of formed a mass, and that's what we're looking for. We're going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to transfer this into another bowl so that it starts to cool down immediately. There will be a layer like this at the bottom of the pan, and that's completely okay. So I'm just going to keep this aside. Okay. To everyone, I think most of the questions are egg replacements. I think I already answered that question. If anyone has just joined in and you're wondering replacement for eggs, there are no replacements for eggs in this recipe. I'm sorry. You'll have to look for a recipe that does not have any eggs. Okay, please repeat the process. Okay, until now we haven't done much. We just took water, butter, salt, sugar in the saucepan. We just heated the mixture until the sugar dissolved. That's all we were looking for. The sugar dissolved, we took it off the heat. We add the flour, and after we add the flour, we just cook it until it looks like this, until it forms a nice lump and mass and it separates from the pan. That's all we've done until now. We added the flour and that's it. Now we're just going to wait for it to cool down just a little. So I'm sort of moving it around with the spatula so that most of the steam comes out. And then we're going to add in the eggs. We don't want to add in the eggs while it's too hot, because when it's too hot and you add the eggs will cook right where they are and they won't really evenly mix into the mixture. And as I said, the eggs are really important in this recipe for structure and for binding the batter even further. So if your eggs have not evenly mixed to the batter, it won't really have the same consistency all over. Okay, so I'm just going to take the hand blender so that it's easier. And when you mix it, it's really tough right now. But if you can see, a lot of steam comes out. That's what we are going for. Okay, so we are just, the only aim here is to cool down the mixture, that's all. Okay, so a lot of the steam has started to come out since I was mixing it already. We've got eggs. I'm just going to add a little by little. I add half the eggs and I'm going to mix it in. So it's going to look like your mixture is splitting, but it's not. It's just the eggs take a little time to emulsify. So keep mixing it. You can do this by hand if you don't have a hand blender, but it's just going to take a little more time and a lot of your elbow grease. Okay, as you can see, the first batch is mixed in. So I'm just gonna take this out once and let all the batter come out. And then we'll add the second batch of eggs also. Do you add vanilla essence? You can, of course you can. It's but the major flavoring that comes to the churros is from what you coat it in. So you can add vanilla essence. That's completely up to you. No issues. But it's not a necessity in the mixture. Okay, since this is really tough, I'm just going to remove it from this and I'm just going to use the spatula now. You can also use a spoon, no issues. Can it be without eggs? I already answered that. No replacement for eggs in this recipe. Please look for a recipe that is completely eggless. The eggless recipes are usually made with oil. So you'll have to find, I'm sure you can find it on the internet. Can we pipe and keep into the deep freezer? And yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pipe these and then we're going to freeze them. That way you get a more even shape. That's what we are going for. You can also pipe them directly into the frying pan. That's completely okay, but it's just that the shape won't be even. So if that's what you're going for, then you should freeze it and then fry it later. That's what we're gonna do too. So I'm just gonna mix it nicely. Okay, so once this is done, what we're gonna do is, what you wanna make sure is that it has to be a pipeable consistency, okay? As you can see, this is a little tough. So what we're gonna do is, we are just gonna add some milk into this. You can also add more eggs, but I prefer adding a little milk. You add the milk to just adjust the consistency of your batter. So I'm just gonna add a little at first. We add that and we're just going to mix it in. Yeah, that's looking a little better. Because if it's too tough and you try to pipe it, your piping bag is just going to burst and it's not really going to work out. Adding the rest of it as well. Okay, any other questions? Is it just yolk? No, it's a whole egg. It's not just a yolk. What if we add baking powder or baking soda as a replacement of eggs? Will it work? Please suggest. No. So baking soda, baking powder is generally added when you want to give your product a rise or a nice crunchy outside. But that's not the role of the eggs over here. Like I said, your eggs are giving the dough structure. So baking soda or baking powder is not going to be a replacement over here. Not for this recipe. Okay, our dough is done. Please share eggless recipe on the page if possible. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I've taken a star nozzle. The reason we use a star nozzle is because it makes sure that we are avoiding any sort of cracks when we fry the dough. You can also make it without the nozzle, no issues. It's just, there are chances that your fried product, your churros are going to have a lot more cracks. Okay. So I'm going to take some of the dough. I'm going to put it into the piping bag. Don't take too much because like I said, it's a little tough. So if you take the whole thing, you won't be able to pipe it properly. And what I've done here is, I've taken the lid of loaf tin. I've greased it with some oil. You want to make sure that you're greasing it with oil. You can take any steel or aluminium surface and you can pipe it on that. But make sure to grease it with oil, not with butter, because butter tends to solidify once you freeze it, and you don't want that. You want your churros to come out nicely. So I've cut the bottom of the piping bag, and what I like to do when I have a batter that's tough is I'm just gonna press it. So this makes sure that it spreads out evenly and it doesn't have any air pockets. Because if there are air pockets while you're piping, your churros won't fry properly. Okay. So what you want to do is just take as much as your hands can hold, not too much. The rest of the batter you put on top. You nicely get a grip of your piping bag. We're going to take this and you can just come close. We start piping. So go nice and steady in straight lines. Okay. Then you take a little more into your piping bag. And then you go again nice and steady. Okay. The piping bag bursts. Like I said, if it's too tough, the piping bag bursts. Okay, so we already have some dough that's frozen. That's what we're going to use, and this we're going to put in the freezer. So I made some dough already, and what I did was I piped it, I've cut it into half, and we've frozen it. So that's what we're going to use. We're going to put on the oil for heating. While that's heating, we are going to heat up the cream that we need for the chocolate sauce, and we're going to pour it over the chocolate. Okay, so the heated cream is going to melt the chocolate. We just mix it in together, and it's a very simple ganache recipe that you can use. You can use milk chocolate, you can use dark chocolate, whatever you wish to use. It's just that I find milk chocolate a little too sweet, so dark chocolate works out best. You can use compound or you can use Puvacho, no issues. Okay. So we have the chocolate here. I'm just gonna take a spoon. I heated the cream. I'm going to pour the cream over the chocolate. So this is a 1:1 recipe. Your cream and your chocolate are the same quantity. It depends on how much you want to make. So you can take less or more accordingly. And like you can see, because it was hot, it's already started to melt the chocolate. You just gently mix it in, that's it. Can we make eclairs? How much milk? My nozzle comes out when I type this. Any suggestions? Okay, so yes, the nozzle comes out when your dough is a little hard, or when your piping bag is very thin. That's what happened with me as well. Can we make eclairs out of this choux paste? It's a basic choux recipe, so you can make anything that you make with a normal choux dough. You can make choux buns, you can make eclairs. Frozen for how much time? Okay, frozen until they are hard, so that you can just pick them up and put them for frying. They should not be soft. So that's no specific time, it depends on your freezer. Takes about 4 to 5 hours from me. Okay, so like you can see, the chocolate sauce is ready. It's very easy to do. That's what we are going for. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep this aside. Can they be baked or air fried? Hi. You can try baking them, but they are a lot better when they are fried. If you bake them, they are basically eclairs. And how much milk? Someone asked me how much milk. There's no specific quantity of milk. Like I said, the milk is added only to bring it to a consistency that you can pipe it. Okay. So these are the ones that I had already made yesterday. I made them and I piped them and then I cut them into half. And these are frozen, so I can pick them up very easily and I can put them for frying. Okay. So we're gonna use these. My oil has been heating up. I'm just gonna check if it's hot enough. Just a little more. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna first take it out onto a tissue so that the excess oil drains out, and then we are gonna put it into this sugar and cinnamon mixture. The cinnamon is just for flavoring. You can use any sort of spice that you want. It's just that cinnamon is a very classic flavor with churros, and I also really love it. That's why I'm using cinnamon, but you can use any sort of spice that you're going for. If you don't want to make these sweet, what you can do is you can use the same recipe to make savory churros. So you make the churros, you don't coat them in any sort of sugar, and then you can have it with any sort of savory dip that you want to go for. Okay. So this is just we're gonna fry it up, take it out onto the tissue, and then we're gonna put it into the cinnamon sugar and coat it in. Okay. Okay, so I think the oil is hot enough. So I'm gonna put my churros in. Don't put too many at once, because since they're frozen, they will reduce the temperature of the oil a little bit. And you want to be moving it a little often so that they don't color just from one side, they color evenly. Is the sugar powdered? It's caster sugar. You can use powdered sugar also, no issues. It's just caster sugar is traditional, and you sort of get a nice texture on the top of your churros. That's why we use caster sugar. But you can use powdered sugar also, just not granulated. Granulated, the grains are too big for it to coat the churros. These should take about 2 to 3 minutes. Don't keep it on a very high flame, otherwise they get color on the outside too fast, but they are not really cooked through on the inside, and we don't want that to happen. Okay, any other questions? You all can drop it in. We don't want the color to be too dark. A nice golden brown is what we are going for. So these will be crispy from the outside, crunchy from the outside, and they'll be nice and chewy and soft on the inside. That's what we are going for. Okay, so this is the color we want. Once it has reached this color, I'm just going to take these out onto the tissue so that the excess oil is out. I'm just going to reduce the flame. I'm going to put a few more of the churros. Okay, and the ones that we took out, we are just going to put them into the cinnamon sugar. We're just going to coat it nicely. You can see this is what we want. We have coated in the cinnamon sugar nicely, and this is what we are going for. Okay. Joined late. Can you show the recipe once? The recipe will be up on the page. You all can see them later. Okay, these look done, so I'm just going to turn off the heat. We're going to take these out as well. So the good thing about this recipe is that you can make it fresh, you can use it fresh, and you can also store it for quite a long time. When you put it in the freezer, you can store it for a very long time. Just going to dab the excess oil out and then put these into the cinnamon sugar. So we just want to toss it in. Like you can see, they all have an even shape, an even size. This is only possible because we had frozen them. If we didn't freeze them, they would have been in random shapes. Okay, so traditionally, since churros are street food, what I'm going to do is just put these into a paper bag that I made, because that way you get to enjoy as many as you want. Okay, so we're just gonna put these in, and we're gonna take some chocolate sauce that we made earlier. Okay. So we have the churros, we have the chocolate sauce, and I'm just gonna take one and dip it in and check if it's nice. Okay. I don't know if you all can hear the crunch or not, but they're really nice and crunchy on the inside, and they're quite soft and chewy on the inside. That's what we're going for. You can have it without the chocolate sauce also. That's how I like to have it, because the sugar and the cinnamon give it a really nice flavor. But do give it a try. Okay, I'll just look through your questions once again if there are any other questions that you all have. Is it chocolate ganache? Yes, it's a 1:1 chocolate ganache. Very easy to make. Why this one left? Okay. I think the cameraman deserved some churros, so it was for them. Send some to Goa. Yes, chef, I will. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Okay, I don't think for max how many days we can keep the batter. Technically, since it's frozen, you all can keep it for a really long time. Considering that you don't take it out, defrost it and then freeze it again. That way it loses its shelf life immediately. Once they're out of the freezer, you have to use them. If you have made them and kept it in the freezer, I think you can easily keep it for about 3 to 4 weeks. Nothing's gonna happen. For max how many days can you keep the uncooked batter in the fridge? So the batter has eggs. If you keep it in the fridge, you can't keep it for more than 3 to 4 days. Try to use it within 3 to 4 days. If you want to keep it for longer, please put it in the freezer after piping. Shelf life after frying them, I think you also should just eat it as soon as they are made. Please don't keep them cold. They become really soft and they'll lose all their essence. Paper cone love from Kenya. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it. I can't really see any other questions. If y'all have, is there any difference between fresh fried and frozen fried? Like I said, technically in the texture you won't really find any difference. It's just the shape. It does not get this even equal shape if you fry it fresh, because you'll be directly piping from the piping bag. So it'll sort of look like a jalebi or whatever shape you fry it. If you want an even shape, you have to use it frozen. Is it easy to make? I think you all saw the recipe. It's pretty easy to make. Harsh crack an Hila joke now. Oh God. Okay. So I hope you all enjoyed. I don't see any other questions. If you have any other questions, my Instagram handle is Ila Sarvate, ILASARWATE. It's on the Academy page with the recipe. You all can follow me on Instagram. You all can follow the Academy page. It's APCA_India. You all can also DM the Academy if you have any questions. We'll make sure to get back to you regarding this. And yes, I hope you all enjoyed the recipe. Please do try to make it. If you do, tag the Academy and also tag me on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Have a really nice day. Stay home and stay safe.